Imagine this. You're sitting in your quiet living room, the sun dipping below the horizon, casting long shadows across the floor. Your heart is pounding as you stare at the bank statement in your hands. The numbers don't add up. Thousands of dollars gone, vanished like smoke. And the person you trusted most, the one you thought would never hurt you, is the one behind it all. That's how it started for me. A single glance at my accounts and my world came crashing down. My name is Luna, and this is a story of betrayal so deep it cuts like a knife, and a revenge so bold it brought me redemption. Hang on tight, because what happened next will leave you speechless. I grew up in a small town where everyone knew each other's secrets. Life was simple. School, friends, dreaming of something bigger. I worked hard, saving every penny from my job at the local diner, pouring my heart into a dream. Eventually, I moved to the city and started my own business, a little online store selling handmade jewelry. It wasn't glamorous, but it was mine. Late nights crafting necklaces, posting on social media, building a customer base. It was exhausting, but exhilarating. I was proud, and that's when I met him. Mark. We met at a networking event for small business owners. He was charming, with an easy smile and a confident way of talking that drew me in. He said he was an investor, looking for promising startups to back. We clicked instantly, talking for hours like we'd known each other forever. He listened to my ideas, nodded enthusiastically, and soon we were dating. It felt like a dream. For the first time, I had someone who believed in me, who wanted to help my business soar. But what I didn't know was that it was all a setup, a carefully crafted lie. As our relationship grew, Mark started talking about money. He had this opportunity, he said, a surefire investment that could double my savings. Luna, he'd say, his eyes locking onto mine, trust me. I've done this before. We'll build something incredible together. I hesitated at first. I'd heard stories of scams, seen warnings online, but Mark was different. Or so I thought. He showed me documents, charts of profits, even introduced me to colleagues who vouched for him. My heart won over my head. I handed over my savings, $50,000, everything I'd worked for. It was supposed to be the start of our future. At first, everything seemed fine. Mark gave me updates. The deal's closing soon, or we're up 20% already. I'd smile, feeling a rush of hope. But then the updates slowed. His calls went unanswered. Texts became short, vague. I started to worry, but I pushed it down. He's busy, I told myself. This is how business works. Oh, how wrong I was. One evening, I decided to surprise him at his office, the address he'd given me. But when I got there, it was an empty storefront. No sign of Mark, no business, nothing. My stomach dropped. I called him over and over, but the line was dead. That's when it hit me. I'd been scammed, betrayed by the man I loved. The pain crashed over me like a wave. I sat in my car, tears streaming down my face, feeling like the biggest fool. All those late nights at the diner, the dreams I'd built, shattered. Anger mixed with sadness, burning in my chest. I thought about our moments together, his promises, his smile, all lies. But in that moment of despair, something shifted. I wasn't going to let this break me. No, I was going to fight back. My plan for redemption was just beginning. What would you do if everything you had was stolen? Stick around, because this story gets wilder from here. Let's rewind a bit, because to understand the betrayal, you need to see how deep the trust ran. Mark and I weren't just a couple. We were partners in every sense, or so he made me believe. After that first meeting, things moved fast. Dates turned into weekends away, and soon he was involved in my business decisions. "Luna, your jewelry is amazing," he'd say, holding up a bracelet I'd made. "But with the right funding, we could take this global." His words lit a fire in me. I'd always dreamed big, but fear held me back. Mark pushed me forward, and I let myself believe in him. We spent hours planning. I'd sketch designs on napkins at coffee shops, and he'd crunch numbers on his laptop. "Invest in marketing," he'd suggest. "Hire a team." It sounded so real. He even helped me set up a joint account for the business expansion. That's where I deposited the money. Looking back, there were red flags, small ones, like how he dodged questions about his past or changed the subject when I pressed for details. But love blinds you, doesn't it? I remember one night on the rooftop of my apartment, stars twinkling above. "I love you, Luna," he whispered. "We're in this together." My heart soared. For the first time, I felt secure, like I had a real partner. My business started to grow. Orders came in faster thanks to the ads we ran, ads he insisted on paying for upfront, saying he'd reimburse from the investment returns. Customers loved my new collections. I hired a part-time assistant, expanded my inventory. Life was good. Mark moved in with me, and our days were filled with laughter and ambition. We'd cook dinner together, talking about our future, maybe a house, kids someday. He painted this picture so vividly, I could see it all. But beneath the surface, cracks were forming. I started noticing odd things. Bills for things I didn't recognize on the joint account. Phone calls he took in another room, his voice hushed. Once, I overheard him say, "Yeah, she's hooked. Just a bit more time." My gut twisted, but I brushed it off as paranoia. He's working deals, I told myself. How could I doubt him? He'd been nothing but supportive. Then came the big pitch, the investment opportunity. "It's a tech startup," he explained. "Guaranteed returns, but we need to act fast." He showed me emails, spreadsheets, even a website that looked legit. I transferred the money, my hands shaking with excitement and nerves. After that, the honeymoon phase continued for a while. Weekend getaways, fancy dinners, he spared no expense. But slowly, the excuses began. "The deal's delayed," he'd say. "Paperwork issues." I'd nod, understanding. Business is unpredictable, right? But the delay stretched on. My business hit a snag. Suppliers demanding payment, ads costing more than expected. I dipped into personal savings to keep afloat, all while waiting for the big payout. Mark reassured me constantly. "Trust the process, babe." And I did, until that fateful day at the empty office. Driving home that night, the city lights blur through my tears. My phone buzzes. Another missed call from a number I don't recognize. Probably a bill collector. The weight of it all presses down. How did I get here? The conflict started subtly, like a storm gathering on the horizon. Mark's behavior shifted. He was more distant, always on his phone, scrolling through messages with a furrowed brow. "Work stuff," he'd mutter when I asked. I wanted to believe him, but doubt crept in like shadows at dusk. My business was thriving on the surface, but underneath, expenses were piling up. The joint account we set up, draining faster than I expected. I'd log in late at night after Mark was asleep and see transfers I didn't authorize. Small at first. $500 here, $1,000 there. Must be for the deal, I'd rationalize. But the numbers didn't lie. I confronted him once, gently. "Hey, what's with these withdrawals?" He laughed it off. "Just moving funds around for better rates. Don't worry, Luna, I've got this? His smile was reassuring, but his eyes flickered with something I couldn't place. Guilt? Fear? Friends started noticing too. My best friend Claire pulled me aside at a party. Luna, are you sure about Mark? He seems off. I defended him fiercely. You don't know him like I do. But her words lingered. Then came the late nights. Mark would come home smelling of perfume, not mine. Networking events, he'd say. You know how it is. Jealousy mixed with suspicion. Was it just business or something more? I pushed the thoughts away, focusing on work. My jewelry sales were booming. I even got featured in a local magazine, but the financial strain was real. Bills unpaid, suppliers calling. One day, I found a receipt in his jacket pocket for a luxury watch, $5,000. We weren't that flush. A gift for a client, he explained smoothly. But the lies were stacking up. I started digging quietly, checked his email when he left his laptop open, saw messages from other women, flirty and promising. My heart ached. Was the scam just financial or emotional too? The conflict inside me raged. Love versus reality. I loved the man I thought he was, but who was he really? The tipping point came during a dinner out. He was distracted, checking his watch. Gotta go meet an investor, he said abruptly, leaving me with the bill. That night, alone in our apartment, I cried. The setup I'd built with him felt like a house of cards. But I wasn't ready to face the truth yet. Instead, I clung to hope. Maybe it was a rough patch. Maybe the investment would pay off. Oh, how I wish I'd listened to my instincts sooner. Pulling into my driveway now, the house feels empty, cold. Mark's car isn't there. Probably gone for good. I step inside, the silence deafening. Papers scattered on the table, remnants of our plans. That's when it all unravels. The betrayal wasn't just a scam, it was a calculated destruction of my life. I boot up my computer, hands trembling. First, the bank accounts. Logging in, I see the joint 1-0 balance, transferred out days ago to an offshore account. My personal savings? Half gone, siphoned through linked transactions. $50,000 investment plus another $20,000? Poof. Gone. Panic rises, but I force myself to think. I call the bank, but it's after hours. Instead, I search his name online. What I find chills me to the bone. Articles pop up, old news stories about a con artist named Marcus Reed. Same face, different name. He'd scammed women before, posing as an investor, draining their funds, then vanishing. Testimonials from victims. He ruined me, one said, took my life savings and my heart. My stomach turns. It was all a lie. Our meeting at the event? Planned, the charm, the promises, tools of his trade. He targeted me because of my business success, seen my profile online. Deeper digging reveals more. Social media profiles under aliases, photos with other women, lavish lifestyles funded by theft. One post even showed him with a watch from the receipt, bragging about smart investments. Anger surges through me. How many lives had he destroyed? And I was just the latest. I pace the room, tears flowing freely. Sadness gives way to rage. How dare he? I'd given him everything. Trust, love, money. And he repaid with deceit. But in that fury, a spark ignites. Redemption. I won't let him win. I gather evidence. Screenshots, receipts, emails. Call Claire, who rushes over. We'll get him, she says, hugging me. Together, we piece it together. He's likely fled, but not far. A recent charge on a shared card, a hotel downtown. The betrayal is complete, but my story isn't over. As dawn breaks, I vow to expose him, reclaim what's mine. What's my next move? The revenge plan forms in my mind, bold and unyielding. With Claire by my side, coffee brewing in the kitchen, we map out the plan. The betrayal stings, but it's fuel now. No more tears, time for action. First, gather intel. I hire a private investigator. Pricey, but worth it using my remaining credit. Within days, he reports back, Mark, or Marcus, is holed up in a swanky hotel, living off my money. He's already scouting his next victim online. Disgust boils in me. We track his movements, gym, cafes, meetings with shady associates. He's running a network of scams, not alone. Next, legal angles. I consult a lawyer specializing in fraud. We can build a case, she says, but it'll take time. Time I don't have. He's slippery. So parallel paths, official and personal. I contact his past victims through online forums. 3 women respond, sharing stories mirroring mine. We form a group chat, united in pain and purpose. Let's expose him. One suggests, the idea clicks. The plan, go public, but smartly. Create a website detailing his scams, anonymous at first. Collect evidence, documents, photos, timelines. Then lure him out. Pose as a wealthy investor online using a fake profile. Bait him with a big opportunity once hooked. Confront him with authorities waiting, but add an emotional twist. Make him feel the betrayal he inflicted. Emotions run high during planning. Nights of doubt. What if he gets away? Anger keeps me going. Claire reminds me, you're stronger than this. We role-play scenarios, anticipate his moves. The suspense builds. Will he bite? Finally, the profile goes live. I message him as Sarah Kane. Heard you're the best investor around. Let's talk. His reply comes quick, hook set. As the plan solidifies, excitement mixes with fear. The climax approaches. What happens when we meet? The bold move for redemption is set. The days leading up to the meeting are a roller coaster. I wake up early, jog to clear my head, but thoughts of Mark invade every step. How could he smile while planning to ruin me? I mutter. Work suffers, jewelry designs stall, customers waiting, but the plan consumes me. One afternoon, a close call. He messages, something feels off. Who are you really? My fingers freeze. I respond casually, just cautious. Business is business. He buys it. Relief washes over me. Meetings with a lawyer. We have enough for charges, fraud, theft. Police are involved now, ready to arrest post-confrontation. The victims share more evidence, strengthening our case. Emotionally, it's draining. I visit my old diner job, talk to my former boss. You've come far, kid. Don't let him take that. It reignites my fire. Nights are sleepless. I replay memories, the good times tainted now. Sadness hits, but resolve pushes through. Claire stays over, practicing my lines. Tell him how he broke you, then watch him crumble. Finally, meeting day. Heart pounding as I enter the cafe. I dress sharp, mask my nerves. He arrives, confident, smiling. Sits down. Sarah? I remove my sunglasses. No, Mark. It's Luna. His face pales. The climax begins. The cafe buzzes with lunchtime chatter, but for me the world narrows to Mark's shocked face. Luna. What are you doing here? He whispers, glancing around. I lean in, voice steady. You thought you could take everything and run. Wrong. I slide a folder across, evidence stacked high. His eyes widen. This is all lies, he protests, but the tremble in his voice betrays him. He tries to bolt, but my I blocks him. Luna, please, he begs. I loved you. I laugh bitterly. Love. You stole my life. Outside, police wait. I signal subtly. Officers enter. Marcus Reed, you are under arrest. Handcuffs click. He looks at me, broken. Why? I reply. For every heart you shattered. The arrest is swift, no drama, just the end of his game. Victims watch from afar, relieved. My bold move pays off. Media picks up. Local news covers the bust. My business gets a boost from publicity. With Mark in custody, the dust settles. Court proceedings begin. He pleads guilty, sentenced to years behind bars. Assets seized. I recover most money through restitution. Victims get shares too. My business rebounds stronger. New designs inspired by the ordeal. Pieces symbolizing strength. Sales soar. Personally, I rebuild trust slowly, date cautiously, focus on self. Claire becomes closer than ever. Life feels redeemed. The scam broke my heart, but the bold move saved me. Court days are tough, testifying, facing him. His apology rings hollow. The judge's gavel brings closure. My business grows. I hire a team, expand online, get featured in magazines as a survivor. Emotionally, therapy helps process the betrayal. I find peace in small things, sunsets, crafting. As time passes, I reflect on the journey. The moral? Trust, but verify. Betrayal teaches resilience. Don't let pain define you. Use it for growth. Justice isn't just punishment, it's redemption. I found mine through boldness. Years later, the impact endures. My story inspires others. Speaking engagements, book deals. My business thrives. The moral undertone. Betrayal reveals true character. Seek justice with heart. Thank you for listening. If you've faced betrayal, know redemption is possible.